Yes, it's April, but we are talking high school football. This is Gridiron Takes. I'm Greg Ellis with Coach Harden. Spring football is what we're going to focus on. And Coach, I felt like we just left the regular season. We kind of got cheated out of our last show because the virus took us out of the playoffs, and I know I still struggle with that, and people still are just. It just left an emptiness. There was no closure to the season.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a heartbreaker for me, staff, players. It's one thing to go out on your own. It's another thing to go out on some things that you can't control.
Absolutely.
I mean,
especially a couple hours before kickoff.
Exactly. You've done all that work up until Friday, and the thing is, I told our kids all week, man, if we just make it to Friday, because it was a time in Tupelo where the virus was hot and heavy, and there was a kid here or there that had tested positive, and it was like, it was just kind of a snowball effect. And I was like, guys, we make it Friday. We're playing, baby. We're playing. That's all we wanted to do. We didn't care what happened Friday. All we wanted to get out there, showcase our skills, enjoy our home playoff game. That's something that's been a little while, and getting to do that and getting to take it out from that. I mean, it was hard. It was hard to look seniors in the eye and tell them, guys, it's over. That's what you. I mean, that's all they wanted. That's all they wanted. They wanted to keep playing football, and that's all they wanted to do.
So before we dive right into spring, and I don't want to be cliche-ish, but everybody has talked about it that I've talked to about our team is, my goodness, we really did get better every single week.
I felt like we did. On paper, it looks like we did. You could tell the last football game we played where we're night and day from the first football game.
Right.
And I think we discuss that every week. I said, the team you see right now is not going to be the team you see at the end of the season. Our youth, as much youth we played out there, those guys were going to grow, and so that was great. But yeah, we were a night and day. Teams like Warren Central and teams that were in the playoffs were probably kind of happy when that happened because we were hot. We were hot as a firecracker at that moment. Hopefully, it's trickled off in the off season. I've seen a lot of great things. I can't wait to, I keep saying this over and over. I can't wait to see what school's like, what the program's like when things are normal, a normal school year.
You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen that yet, and we're going to see it sooner or later. But we've been working hard this off season. We started spring ball this week, and kids have gotten after it. I've seen a different demeanor from them on the field.
Every year you go into spring probably with some different goals just based on personnel. Can you talk about the goals that you have? Because this is really your first spring practice with this group.
Well, the thing is, kids missed spring last year.
Right.
And that's one thing we talked about this off season and during our football season. Your basics of football, you could tell, were hurting all season long. Your blocking, your tackling, your football IQ, because you missed the spring. And so I broke it down. We're going to be elementary this spring. We're going to be simple. We're going to be basic. We're going to be fundamentals. Everything we do on the field, our kids see it on the TV. We meet, we watch film. We even break it down to I would show a peewee team a PowerPoint how we're going to do this and that. There's certain things that kids don't even know. I gave them a PowerPoint the other day of like a pop quiz, and it was like the down marker. All right, what is this? We had kids in the room that didn't know.
Wow.
It was a referee doing this signal. We had kids in the room that didn't know. So we wanted to. I'm never going to assume they know anything, and so. We want to keep our weight room program at full throttle the way we are, and then do the football stuff on the field. But it's been a lot of excitement. The kids our maturity level's a lot higher than it was last year, and our kids have approached learning the game more this spring. That's what's been great.
Well, there's familiarity now where there wasn't this time of year. In August, you didn't have that.
Exactly.
So, and for kids, that makes a big difference.
It does. They've had to figure myself out. I've had to figure them out more. We had a brand new staff period, so there was a lot of still feeling around in the off season what is, what pushes this person's buttons, what makes this person tick, what makes this person want to go the extra mile. Not every kid's the same.
Right.
You treat everybody fair, but everybody's not kind of,
Right.
in their own sense. That's just like in the classroom. I mean,
Exactly.
you kind
Everybody learns
of,
different.
everybody learns different. And I take that approach. I don't know if that's kind of I don't say it's a millennial approach or anything. I think that's just a good teaching side of things is we're figuring out kids, and hey, one kid's a critic hard on themselves. They're gonna, and you don't have to coach them hard. Or you got this kid that you can dig into them really hard,
Right.
and that's going to make him go the extra mile. So, figuring each other out's been, and we're figuring each other out more and more every day, and just creating that relationship better and better.
Educate us on the high school rules with spring. How many practices do you get in? You can have a spring game.
Right. So you can have, so you get 15 practices.
Okay.
And you can do it over a certain week period. So you can do it over a 4 or 5 week period, however holidays fall and stuff. So you only count your days during the week.
Gotcha.
So you don't count your weekends. So like with us, we're gonna go 4 straight weeks of basically 4 days
Gotcha.
a week. Give them Friday off. Friday's gonna be a day to reflect, work out, heal whatever wounds we have, let them rest on the weekend, and plus, it is spring. Let's not try to not overdo it. Let's let these kids kind of enjoy their weekend. And so Monday through Thursday is our hard work day.
But going 4 days a week gives you almost another week of being able to see them, be with them, and make sure things are going right.
I'm good. You have some coaches, and there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's some coaches that hey, they're gonna go 3 straight weeks of 5 days, get it over with, and then you got some coaches that, hey, I'm gonna go 5 weeks of 3 days and spread it out. We've kind of mixed between the 4 or 5. But I would rather go longer to do some stuff in the classroom, work on this, because there's other things pop up. There's gonna be a day. There's gonna be an ACT day like we had yesterday, or there's gonna be a state test day where those guys need to be worried about what's going on in the classroom, and we got to respect that. And don't overbear them everything we've got going on in football.
Well, the longer you go, the closer you are to August too. So. Now, spring game.
We got West Point. West Point's West Point. We played them.
Alabama.
we played them second game of the season. We played them in our upcoming 8th grade spring game and our upcoming 9th grade spring game.
And you need to give a shout out.
Coach Graham and that staff, and Coach Jackson, our head 9th grade coach, and that staff did a phenomenal job this spring, man. Just the way our schedule worked this year, I would have tried to gotten out there every day, but it was the way they got the kids at a certain time. We still had our kids here, and I only got to go out there a few days, man. They had 150 kids on the same field, 3 coaches for 7th grade, and basically 3 coaches for the upcoming 8th grade, 3 coaches for the upcoming 9th grade, and those coaches did a phenomenal job. Saw a lot of great things. Future's bright, Tupelo. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's some special groups coming up. We got, it's bright already, but going back to they both won their spring games against 2 they both played 8th grade played South Tilla and West Point. 9th grade played Olive Branch and West Point. All those teams never lost a game in middle school last year. So you knew they were going to be good coming in, and we went undefeated in that. So that says a lot about our program.
They expect to win now.
So now we kind of transition on the high school side of things. We got West Point May 13th here. Everybody's invited. Y'all come on out and watch it. I mean, it's football in the spring. I know we're kind of in baseball mode right now. We're on the drive to make a state championship right there. But, if you're available on that Thursday night and we play West Point, it's going to be a good showing. They're going to bring an awesome football team over here, and I hope we can show our talents really the right way.
All right, let's look at our team. For the first time in, I guess, 3 years, we don't know our quarterback situation. You won't have experience there, and Jake he did so much for you. Leader, quarterback, punter. He's gone on to sign at Mississippi State. Kind of update us on the quarterback battle. What do you see evolving?
Well, it's kind of a wide open situation there. You know, we're going to evaluate it every day. Right now, we've got 2 kids in spring, Jeremiah Harrell, which is a young, talented sophomore, and Eli Gilmore. Our other quarterback is actually in baseball right now. He's our Lake Reed. You know, he's a starting catcher for the baseball team, and so, you know, Jeremiah's getting a lot of spring reps, and you know, we'll get Lake back this summer, and so we'll be evaluating up until season. You know, it's a wide open deal, and we're not. And that's like that in every position. Yeah. You know, we're just want to be. We want to. Hey, you got to earn everything, but also we want to play the best player out there. We're excited about that situation because those guys we have in that situation bring a different element to our offense. They're both, you know, Eli, Jeremiah, and Lake. They're all 3 different type of players, and they all have, you know, a different, you know. Lake's a multi-sport kid that's a super competitor, a coach's son, so he brings a different aspect.
How many quarterbacks do you see that are catchers on the baseball team?
A lot. I mean, well, you got the thing we're read about baseball players. They can throw from any arm angle. They don't hurt. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys out there that say they would rather their quarterback be a catcher than a pitcher.
Gotcha.
Just because of what their arm is and the arm angles and the arm slots they have. And you got to think about how tough you got to be a catcher in high school baseball. And so,
being a linebacker.
For sure. And, you know, and Jeremiah's got a lot of length, and he's grown so much since January, mentally, physically, athletically. You know, day 2 of spring practice, man, he looked night and day better than he did from day 1. So he's a kid that's competing, getting better every day. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. We got good players.
Brings out the best.
Always does.
Running backs, receivers.
You know, that's some areas that, you know, we've got some talent. We're still going to be young, kind of in the running back area. There's about 5 or 6 running backs that we can pick from. I could kind of, you know, we got 1 senior, Montre Moore, 1 junior, Milton Duvall, and we got tons of sophomores. It's a talented group. Quay Middlebrooks has looked great this week in practice. Jabari Dooley and Ty Pierce Green are another running backs at receivers. Right now, the guys that are kind of shining are Katie Gibson, a guy that had a lot of experience last year. We're expecting a lot of big things out of him at receiver. Expecting a lot of big things out of Dalen Patton. There's an upcoming sophomore, a kid. Y'all need to remember this name is J.Q. Weatherspoon. He's one of the hardest working kids on our team. He gets after it every day. He's a special type of kid. There's tons of receivers we can pick from. Alex Pounds has got tons of experience from last year. Chris Traylor. I know I'm leaving some guys out, but there's a lot of guys in that area that'll be available.
And then shifting to the offensive line.
Offensive line, I think we're going to be kind of bigger than we were last year. Feel good about the group just because, you know, it's another year under our offensive line coach. It's only been here a year. And, you know, we got big Isaiah Alexander at a left tackle. I think he's an SEC offensive lineman. I mean, he's 6'7", 340 pounds. I mean, that's a big man.
Frog in the wall.
Exactly. Ken Herman's a returning starter. So Isaiah, Ken Herman, returning starter. Sam Westmoreland's a returning starter. He's another tackle. Feel good about our young guys we got in the middle. Eli Sanders, big powerlifting guy, did a great job this year powerlifting. He's grown a lot mentally, physically this offseason. And another upcoming sophomore kid named Mike Wallace. Very talented kid. He's got a lot of ability that his name will be popping out there sooner or later.
Shifting to defense, really, the defense was fun to watch grow last year. And there were some times they might bend, but boy, when it came down to big time stops,
for sure. Well, that's going to be our calling card here at Tupelo, and also too. I mean, we're going to be good on defense. I mean, it's simple. We were very good on defense by the end of the season last year. We're going to be very good this year. When you only lose about 2 or 3 starters, that says a lot.
And you played a lot of people on defense.
Played a whole lot. I mean, it starts up front. I think we've got the opportunity to have the best D-line in 6A football. Maybe the talent's there, you know. We got a 4-star defensive end, Ja'Karius Clayton. I mean, he's had a great offseason. I mean, he's about 6'6", 270. Romero Hampton is one of the most disruptive nose guards in the state of Mississippi.
And he loves to play.
He loves to play football. He's a different character kid, different energy and motor kid. You know, love him to death. And we got a lot of other guys. I mean, we have we're 3 deep on the D line. We can rotate three groups. You know, you got L.A. Ray in there. You got Johnny Evans. You got Ben Moore. You got Cam Vaughn. We got Elijah, but we got so many D linemen that I've told our defensive guys, like, man, there'll be some games. Let's just play with 5 D linemen. We got so many D linemen. So, you know, that's a good thing to have. And at linebacker, return some experience. Jamarian Scott, you know, probably our smartest football player on the team when it comes to football IQ. He loves the game. Give a shout out to Jamarian. I mean, we're watching coaching clinics, and he'll come up and show me on his phone a coaching clinic he's got on his phone where he's been studying. You know, just he wants to be a coach when he gets older, so it's awesome to be around. Tyler Vaughn, we're going to move Deion Shumpert to inside. He was an outside backer. He was originally an inside backer the years before that. So Tyler Vaughn and Deion Shumpert are going to be 2 big 6'8", thick linebackers. And we got lots of guys that we can utilize on the other side. Kalen Roddy is a very athletic, good-looking kid that's a junior that got some experience last year. And on the back end, we return about everybody, you know. We return about everybody. There's one point we played 3 sophomores and a freshman back here in the secondary. Against Oxford, we did that. And those guys are very good football players. We're very deep in that area. We're very deep on defense. And so, you know, we feel good about stopping people, creating turnovers, you know, and giving our offense as many chances as they get. So we feel good.
And then on special teams, you got to replace both your punter and your field goal kicker.
Right. So we've had guys kind of come out this spring. We feel good about the young Gideon Deaton that we moved up from 9th grade last year. He did a good job kicking. Eli Gilmore has been working on it hard this offseason. He can kick too. You know, guys like Lake Reed, different ones. We got guys, you know, we're basically going to have open tryouts all summer for punting and kicking. And so we feel good about those areas. We've had 2 more kids come out this spring just working on kicking. And so they're working on it. They have the ability to do it. So it's been we'll have choices going forward.
Nice. Coach, before we end the show, is there one thing in particular in the spring you want to see? I mean, is there, like, we got to have this coming out of the spring?
Right. Well, number one is just what I've seen so far is some of our kids' maturity level is, you know, they're handling practice the right way. What I want to see most is guys that might not have gotten that opportunity in the past or might not get the opportunity in the future get that opportunity right now.
Right. You can make a name for yourself.
We have our practice set up where every kid, every player on our roster gets 20 more reps of some type of live game action.
Gotcha.
And that don't happen lots of times. We have one group going this way, one group going this way, and they're rotating every 3 plays. And so every kid on our roster, they don't have an excuse, and everything is filmed so they can see themselves. They're evaluated every day. We want to find out what guys that, you know, what role they can fit in, and give every kid an opportunity. I mean, that's what we're doing, and the film doesn't lie. And hey, you know, guys, you know, if you're wanting to be with the number 1s or the number 2s, we need to see you show out with the number 3s right here, or we need to see you make a play right here. Let's not talk about it. Let's go out and do it. Exactly. That's what I want to see.
Coach, it's so great to talk football again. I'm in the best mood right now and excited about the spring game in May and really looking forward to the off season in the summer, the workout program, and then before you know it, August is going to be here.
It will be here. It will fly by. Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. For Coach Harden, I'm Greg Ellis. This is Gridiron Takes Spring Edition.